March of the Machine Aftermath is here. Magic the Gathering's first micro set with 5-card booster packs and only 50 cards total in the set. Now that we've seen it all, many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, does this micro set also have micro value? The answer obviously is yes, but I hope you'll still tune in for my Is It Worth It to Buy video to watch in excruciating detail just why the value is not there. But what about singles? Among these 50 cards, are there any that are going to shake up Standard, give a punch to Pioneer, mangle Modern, or leave a legacy in Legacy? Again, no, there's not. So that just leaves us with Commander. Good, reliable old Commander. And to be honest, even there's not that much except for some cool new legendary creatures to build around. It's slim pickings in EDH as well. It's really weird that Aftermath is a standard legal set and almost every card is specifically for Commander. A really great example of this is Open the Way, X and double green for a sorcery where X can't be greater than the number of players in the game. Obviously, this is for Commander, not Standard, but what do you get for X? Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. Put those land cards onto the battlefield tapped and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Oh, cool, so it's what? 6 mana for 4 lands? Wow, we're really gonna ramp in this Commander game once we already have 6 mana to ramp with. So while this card is very obviously designed for Commander, it isn't that powerful. It's okay, I mean, I do like that it at least gets land cards and not basic land cards. But you're not specifically tutoring for them, you're just revealing. So if you're trying for a combo like the classic Thespian Stage, Dark Depths, or any other number of non-basic land combos in Commander, you're just gonna have to, I don't know, build the entire deck around maybe getting lucky. More than anything, this would maybe go in 4 or 5 colored decks that really want mana fixing. So if you've been struggling to get your mana fixed and it's all the way turn 6, you might end up revealing enough cards of 2 and 3 color options that will fix your mana for you in that game. Or, you know, you could just run Chromatic Lantern. That's good in EDH, right? Were these cards maybe designed for Paper Brawl? You know, the format that's Commander, but only using standard legal cards? Maybe this was designed to be a Brawl supplement back before that format died out in paper. Regardless, we here at Tolarian Community College have scoured all 50 cards, separated the draft from the chaff, an easy feat because you can't draft Aftermath, and determined the top 5 cards for Commander, playable within the 99 of your decks. Let's take a look. But first, are you sick of fast food and junk food and having to deal just with food? Can I just get something delicious really quick in my hands? Well, now you can, thanks to today's sponsor, Factor. Factor is owned by another sponsor of mine, HelloFresh, and you can enjoy both using my discount codes, and they are good for different reasons. You want to know what Factor is great for? It is great for when I'm too busy to cook, but I don't want that fast food. Factor is fresh, it's never frozen, meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back outside and soak up the warmer weather, or go back down into your basement and play some more Magic the Gathering. Guess which one of those two I do? But you do you, and with Factor, you can skip that trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, skip the prepping, and especially skip the cleaning up too. With over 34 chef-prepared weekly options, there's always something new to try. Plus, it's not just dinner. You can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of over 45 add-ons, including but not limited to breakfast items like apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato bacon and egg breakfast skillets. Looking for a wellness boost? Try refreshing beverage options like cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. Looking to pack in more protein? Conveniently add on filling options like a salmon steak or chicken wings to your Factor meals to support your dietary goals any time of day. Those are my goals, adding on chicken wings, and you can do that with Factor. Joking aside, sponsorship aside, we love Factor around the office. We keep it in the fridge and we are able to get meals really quick because we're working hard and we don't have time to deal with prepping and cooking or going out to eat. Factor is fantastic. That's just me talking. That's not even on the script. It is seriously easy to heat and enjoy a delicious meal anytime with Factor, and if that sounds good to you, please check them out. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code TolarianCommunity40 to get 40% off your first Factor box. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring this video. While this is an underwhelming set for Commander, there are still some goodies here. Again, there is a bevy of legendary creatures to build Commander decks around. But I want to talk about cards in the 99, and if we're looking at a legendary that's going to slot into the 99, I can think of none other than Narset Enlightened Exile. Narset Enlightened Exile is 1, a blue, a red, and a white for a legendary human monk that gives creatures you control prowess. Whenever Narset Enlightened Exile attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Like I said, any other legendary from this set can still make for a fun new commander to build around. But Narset is best for the 99 because she doesn't care about specific creature types, like so many of those other legendaries do. So while I'm excited that we got a great new rat commander, I'm not sure Nashi is going to go in the 99 of a lot of decks, let alone non-rat decks. But Narset will go in non-rat decks, that is. Artifact spells obviously do not go away once they are in your graveyard. So never mind having a repeatable God's Willing, you can now have a repeatable Command Sphere or Wayfarer's Bauble. But with the type of deck Narset is likely going into, you're likely going to use her for a repeatable, expressive iteration or solve the equation. Just imagine what that would be like. But while Narset is number 5 on this list as an almost auto-include in every Jeskai deck, those colors are what holds her back. Jeskai is just so tough to slot into, well, anything other than Jeskai. What's she gonna go in? She's not going in my Feather deck anytime soon. Or George's Feather deck. George's Feather deck. Anyway, though I suppose Feather would be a great inclusion in your Narset deck, but that is another video. Again, I want to stress that many of the legendary cards in this set do look fun to build around because it's fun to build around legendaries. Just look at how I built around Yargle. But Narset was being discussed as part of the 99, as are the remaining cards in this video. Next up, a delightful little piece of hate with an upside as we move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4, it's Graveyard Hate with nothing but upside. Urborg Scavengers, 2 and a black for a spirit that whenever Urborg Scavengers enters the battlefield or attacks, exile target card from a graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Urborg Scavengers. Urborg Scavengers has flying as long as a card exiled with it has flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, oh my god, this just goes on, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. This is Graveyard Hate that can turn into a major problem for our opponents. If we exile anything with a keyword, we're going to gain that keyword and +1/+1 after. So I just sit back and wait for a board wipe, and then play Scavengers for an optimal effect. Or imagine you're up against a Reanimator opponent, and they've got Atraxa Grand Unifier, among other goodies, in their graveyard. Well, this not only gets rid of that tasty target for them, but Scavengers then get Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, and oh yeah, that extra +1/+1. Or just target your opponent's Questing Beast, and Urborg Scavengers gets Trample, right? Yeah, and Lifelink. They also get Death Touch? You know what? Why don't you play along at home? I don't actually have the Questing Beast card in front of me as I'm recording this, so what do they get if they exile Questing Beast? We may never know for sure, but one thing is certain. These are one of the best new cards for Commander from Aftermath, and they're so darn cute. I mean, depending on which art you get. Our next example really embodies all the EDH cards from this set. Clearly made for Commander, but still much weaker than a lot of what Commander already has. Nonetheless, our number 3 may have a reckless design, but it can still be put to good use in the 99 with the right handling. Coming in at number 3, it's Gamble. Mom, can we have Gamble in Aftermath? No, Aftermath just has Gamble at home. It's reckless handling. 1 and a red for a sorcery. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle, and then discard a card at random. If an artifact card was discarded this way, reckless handling deals 2 damage to each opponent. So you see why I'm calling this Gamble at home, right? It's more expensive and offers a more narrow selection, but remember, consistency in Commander can go a long way. And this is still a great card that lets you search for an artifact for just 2 mana. And even if through some bad luck that card ends up in your graveyard, most artifact decks in red aren't going to care. From Wormcoil Engine to Soul Ring, you'll just grab it with Goblin Welder or Duretti. So think of this card as a budget gamble, or an extra kind of gamble. Hey, I was just saying red needed more tutors, though I do think the fact we're already at number 3 and its slightly worse gamble is indicative of just how underwhelming a lot of the cards from this set are. That being said, I think our top 2 picks really have some power. Hey, they say a broken clock is corrected twice a day, right? So what are the top 2 best new cards for Commander from Aftermath? Well, number 2 is a favorite of mine from this set, Vesuvan Drifter. Vesuvan Drifter is 2 and a blue for a shapeshifter with flying, and you may look at the top card of your library at any time. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, Vesuvan Drifter becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it has flying. This card is probably the most versatile creature we have seen in this set, and wow, am I excited to try it out. The ability to become any random other creature in your deck each combat is good enough to be built around, and with Vesuvan Drifter, the sky truly is the limit. Imagine manipulating the top card of your deck by scrying or using spells like Vampiric or Worldly Tutor, and then turn Vesuvan Drifter into a, I don't know, Blightsteel Colossus with flying. Is Infect not really your thing? Then try out an Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre with flying. That's 10 damage, Annihilator 4 for 3 mana. Maybe you want to outvalue opponents. Then I might suggest copying a Neheb the Eternal, giving it flying, swinging in, and gaining at least 4 red mana to propel yourself even further ahead of your opponents. Honestly, the possibilities are just endless here. Those are just a few that our evil minds could come up with, and it is no stretch to say that this card scratches the itch that every blue player has to sneak in value and deal massive damage to your poor, unsuspecting opponents. I wouldn't crack packs of Aftermath to get a Vesuvan Drifter for my deck, but I would look into just buying it from my local games store. For all these reasons and more, Vesuvan Drifter is our number 2 pick from Aftermath. Time for some real talk. I know I have had a lot of Tolarian contempt for Aftermath, and quite frankly, I stand by it. And I need you to hear me here. Our number 1 pick actually is a great card in its own right. This one card is the kind of power and utility the rest of the set needed. It's what non-micro sets usually have, and it is unapologetically a must-have for Commander decks. Best of all, it's an uncommon. Hey look, it's a Merfolk card, or at least a card with cool Merfolk art. It's Filter Out. And while I have been rather contemptuous of this set for Commander, and Standard, and Pioneer, and Modern, Filter Out is a hot card for Commander, probably the best new card in the entire set. Why? Well, for 1 and double blue, it's an instant that returns all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Say what? Bounce mana rocks? Bounce enchantments? Bounce almost everything for only 3 mana in Commander, and it's an uncommon? Hope that price stays low, because this really is the spice the set could have used a lot more of. With the turn from Commander from combat-oriented to combo-oriented, this card really finds a home in the modern iteration of the format. Enchantment and artifact pieces get sent back to square one. Treasure, food, and clue tokens get destroyed, and all for only 3 mana. And did I mention it's at instant speed? Imagine the look on your opponent's face when a major dockside extortionist is about to resolve, and you just tap 3 and say,
"You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!"
You're a crook.
Not only that, but if you build your own deck in a way that enter the battlefield effects are important to you, you are setting up your own board for major value. On a board with a few mana rocks, play a Vidalcan Archmage. Tap all your artifacts for mana, bounce everything with Filter Out, recast all your mana rocks, and draw all the cards your heart could desire. Your opponent's losses are your gains with this awesome new card. And while I have very little confidence in Aftermath as a set, I have full confidence in saying that Filter Out is the best new card for Commander in the 99 from that set. There's still a lot to unpack about Aftermath, so stay tuned for my Is It Worth It to Buy, where I will be looking both at the 5-card booster packs and, yup, the $20 6-card collector booster packs. And if you want to see some real Commander power for not a lot of cash, check out my recent Build Your Own Precon video, More Than You Yargled For, where I build a $45 commander deck all around the most powerful commander ever, Yargle and Multani. Seriously, it has the highest power level of any commander, therefore, it's the most powerful. And hey, remember, if you're looking for fast, easy, and delicious meals served right to your face, it's Factor. It is seriously easy to heat and enjoy a delicious meal anytime using Factor. And if that sounds good to you, please check them out. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code TolarianCommunity40 to get 40% off your first Factor box. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring this video.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
Today, we are playing with $50 budget decks. It's Budget Commander with Budget Commander.
Hi, my name is Tomer from MTG Goldfish. My commander is Min, Wily Illusionist.
Yeah, hi, I'm Joey. I am playing my baby lasagna.
My name is Alec, and today I'm playing Satoru Umezawa.
My commander is Helena and Elena. So these are what Canadians call biscuits.
No, these are what Canadians call bribes.
Excuse me.
All right, that needs to die just so that reference can die.
I didn't want you to draw 14 cards. That's a lot of
But
cards.
Joey,
Just to send a message, attack you with my Ornithopter.
no way.
What?
What?
For 0.
I'm a method actor. I'm like Christian Tesseract. Bale.